my friends. My name is Chloe Markham. It is good to be here. Look, I had a podcast a while ago and I'm here to restart it because I think writing's great, but also just, connecting and speaking and having sort of one-way convos with you, but hopefully two-way because you'll jump in the chat. Yeah. I am here to chat and to add some humanity into what is increasingly a non-human world out there. So this is me talking to you properly, and I want to talk about something. I've mentioned it a couple times. I got an email this week from, first of all, it's a company that helps us be more productive, get more done in less time. I'm not going to share the name because it's not my point. What was really interesting was the email I got. Thankfully, it landed in my junk, but the subject line was like, how to be more productive on your commute, how to get more done on the way to work. And it's just, I don't know, it's because I talk about this all the time, right? I talk about resting and not being a doing machine a lot. But this language just felt like, what, are we stuck in the 90s? Are we still, glorifying productivity? And I haven't been able to shake it. What's really interesting about that, though, is that yesterday I tried to take a day off. So this is something that I've been experimenting with the last couple of weeks. This is daft, right? But I work for myself. It is bloody hard to not work because no one's telling me what to do apart from me. No one's setting the guidelines apart from me. No one's setting the goals or the mission apart from me, right? So it is all up to me. So I managed it a couple of weeks ago. And you might be laughing, and that's fine. I had a full day off. I didn't check my phone. I didn't check my Substack. I didn't check my emails. None of it. And it was really great. And I panicked for a bit, and then I came back, and all was fine. Nothing had set on fire. No one had, shouted at me or run away or whatever. So I tried to do this again yesterday. Bearing in mind, the first day I did this, I was out of the house, right? I was doing stuff and busy with people. I was at home yesterday and I failed, right? I monumentally failed. I spent an hour at least, maybe more, updating my website. I checked in probably 4 times to my emails and to my Substack and whatever. I had another idea and then I went over and acted on it. I worked on a day that I intended to have off. So what's really funny is that email from that company with that subject line, how to be more productive on your commute. I'm laughing at it, right? We can, stick our middle fingers up at these people and get and encourage them to, come into modernity with us. But I'm also a victim of that mentality. And I'm, Joy Unplugged and Joyful, my Substack. These things are here to help you stop over working yourselves and to come back into your body and stuff. And here I am, and I can't even take a day off. Isn't that funny? So I want this to be the antidote to everything in your world that's telling you to be more productive, because I know that there's more than just one random email. It's not ad hoc. This is a lot. This is everything ever. It's telling us to do more, to produce more, to be better, to be more, to learn more. It's a hell of a lot on top of what is already a frazzled system. You have kids or a mortgage or debt, or you've looked at the news today. Why? What? No wonder we're addicted to our smartphones. So I wanted to share some things that I'm experimenting with and I have been experimenting with in the mission to be less productive. Yesterday, these are the things I did yesterday. It's going okay so far. I removed the sticky bookmarks bar on Chrome. So my process used to be, I open Chrome on my laptop and I click the several bookmarks that I've got for my emails and for Substack and for whatever else. And it's there. And I literally had and I would still have today if I hadn't, crowbarred in this different approach. Like a musical, I press this note, then this note, then this note. This is the sequence I go through to then fulfill my twitchy goblin that really needs some reassurance or some dopamine or something, right? So I've removed the bookmarks bar and I'm looking at my screen right now and it feels very naked and weird and empty. But I now have to think about, where am I going? Oh, Substack. Okay, so do I need to? Right? There's extra layers, even if it's a 0.5 of a second of an extra layer for me to do that. So that's number one. Number two, something I did ages ago that I absolutely love is Newsfeed Eradicator. So if you just search for Newsfeed Eradicator, there's a Chrome plugin. I think there's plugins for like Safari and everything. But it's great because you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram or whatever, which I need to do occasionally, and you don't see a newsfeed. You don't see stuff. So you can't be sucked in. It's fucking great. And on that note, I did come, and this is me being smug, but I just deleted my Instagram and Facebook apps ages ago. And I just, as a business owner, you're told over and over again, do social, or else you're failing. You're not doing enough. You're not being enough, right? That same message over again. And I came onto Substack in 2024 and I was like, do you know what? I quite like Substack and I really don't like anything else. I don't like Meta and TikTok and all of it. So I made an executive decision to come off and I deleted them and it's great. In fact, I logged into Instagram a couple of weeks ago for the first time in over a year. I've got a little snotty dog next to me. That was that noise. Yeah, and why was I on Instagram? I was trying to update my bio, I think, right? And you have to do that on a phone app. Fun, thanks for that, Meta. And I ended up scrolling, maybe for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I came away like, I wasn't all right. I wasn't feeling okay from that interaction. It was really confronting. But I think when you're in it, and I used to scroll a lot. I didn't realize that it was so confronting. I didn't feel like that every day. Or at least I didn't realize I felt like that every day. So yeah, I really recommend coming away from socials. And something else I did yesterday was I created a little sticky reminder on my desktop home screen just to log in 3 times a day. Guys, I'm on day 1 of this. Who knows if this is going to fucking work, but I have to do something because I can't take a day off. Yeah. So none of this is like strict. None of this is hardcore. Like my morning routine, I talk about this stuff all the time. Have a morning routine, please go and get one. But as soon as you start being strict about it and start beating yourself up for missing an element of it or for missing the entire thing or whatever, it's not helpful for us, right? When we start to feel guilty over this stuff, it's unhelpful. So I encourage you to try some of this stuff as an experiment. And if you know any other things that I can do to help me have a day off while I'm at home, I am all ears, people. I am all ears. And I think really it's a case for being unproductive. So I've decided after being in London last week and eating really good pasta, I will share the restaurant in... Are there show notes on Substack podcasts? I don't know. I'm going to share the restaurant link. I think it was called Lena Stores in London. We went to the one in Kensington. I don't know London. Anyway, it was really good. Amazing pasta. I'm going to make pasta from scratch. That is my inspo. It's completely unnecessary. I don't have to do it, but that's the point. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to forward my work mission. It's not going to forward this stuff that I talk about every day. I'm not going to get any writing done because of it. But that's sort of the point. It's something to do that isn't Work. Yeah. Last point on this, we've started to see unproductive time as a problem. Even when, like me, that and you're aware of it, you're cognizant of the fact that everything's telling you to be productive, and actually that's okay if you're not going to be productive. It's okay not to be productive. It's a problem. Something to fix. It's time to fill. Don't be bored. But what if these unproductive days, when you don't check in, I'm talking to myself right now, what if that is where life happens? It actually is. Someone commented, and I can't remember who, thank you for commenting, on the note I put about this email on my Substack. And she said that she was waiting for her husband, I think, in the car outside a supermarket or something with her kid. It was raining, and her kid was really bored. And she taught him, isn't this lovely, to race the raindrops down the windows. Something that she learnt to do when she was bored in the 80s or whatever, right? Isn't that a glorious thing? We need to be bored more often. We need to be unstimulated more often. We need to have those times that allow our brain to wander and to muse and to make shapes out of clouds. So this is your reminder not to optimize anything, or not to optimize everything this week. Maybe you don't need more input. Maybe you just need some more space. And that is what's been on my mind this week. So share with me your thoughts. I am here for all of it. Share with me your tricks and tips to do less. And thanks for being here with me, my friends. Here's to your unproductive time this week. From me and little sleepy Mabel. I'll see you next time. Loads of love.